What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about NIO. I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down what's moving it, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So NIO is up a very impressive 7.42%, 464 the low, 513 the high. So it did successfully get above absolutely the key resistance levels. So it is in breakout territory as long as it can kind of hold that. I'm going to go over that in a second, but surprisingly enough, nothing's of substance to bring up associated to NIO. So no SEC filings, no press releases. There was this that did come out, so maybe something of value to kind of bring up, but NIO launches discounts in the UAE, offering discounts of up to roughly 3,400. So I think that's good. Kind of matches with what they're trying to accomplish there, but at the end of the day, I don't really see this as a good reason to buy NIO nor sell. So I think in general, it's hell-bent on just breaking out due to its own technicals. Even lately, you've seen a lot of posts associated to tariffs coming out. So even China being hit with another 10% tariff that seems to be, looks like in effect April the 2nd. They're also going to be doing the Canada-Mexico tariffs effective March the 4th. So a lot of negativity associated to that, and that's what prompting a lot of, I guess, market volatility. But in NIO's case, it doesn't seem to give two craps whatsoever. As far as shorts, they are returning 2.23 million shares today. 14.64% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 195.5 million shares overall are being shorted. One unique scenario is kind of playing out with NIO, or one thing is happening, and that is cost to borrow minimum is negative. So I covered quite a few different stocks, and occasionally you do see this occur. So whenever cost to borrow minimum is negative, that does mean that there is a broker out there physically paying people to short the stock. Don't really see it all too often with NIO, but lo and behold, here you do have it. So pure 100% signs of manipulation. So some entities out there are trying to incentivize shorting to clearly stop NIO's very obvious good momentum based on the technicals. So moving on from this though, 11 million in calls, 3.78 in puts, 48% of all the options being done today are bullish in nature. And kind of just looking here, so far, just in the first hour and a half of the trading day, 14.7 million in total premiums. Yesterday was 16, so definitely blowing up absolutely all the recent activity. So most likely this is going to be the highest that has been probably since December the 19th or December the 9th. So at that stage, it was 27.5 million. So most likely it'll be above that today. We'll just have to wait and see. But of the call options that are being purchased today, I'll give you a quick overview of that. Clearly that's not working right now. So based on this, it does show a consensus for it to be above roughly 5 to 550. That's what the bulls are saying. And then what the bears are saying for it to be sub 450. So even the bears are turning to obviously have a little bit higher highs, so no anticipation for it to be sub 350 anymore, or some consensus for the next little bit for fours, but definitely optimism is really moving higher. These are all the transactions occurring on the secondary market above $100,000. So normally you have maybe one transaction every day, or every two maybe in one day, but these are definitely shows that big money is paying attention to NIO and does really want to move it higher. So interesting stuff. Aside from that though, these are all the transactions occurring on the dark pool. Dark pool, as per usual, is very popular, and so that's often enough linked to shorting as well as just other large transactions. So a lot of big money is definitely getting into NIO today, and you can see that based on all of these. Once again, the market's only been open roughly about 2.5 hours, or maybe almost 3. So yeah, it's definitely a good thing based on the technicals itself. So with it right now at 505, it is trading between this R3 and this R2. So 497 is going to be that next strong support. Just watch for that to hold for the rest of the day. And then 531 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. And with today being Thursday, that does mean that it might be advantageous to start looking at this. So if NIO, for whatever reason, is able to close above 5 come tomorrow, then this is where you could see a nice gamma squeeze, because right now there's 32,000 in calls at the 450, so in the open interest, and then 57,000 at that 5. So once again, if it is able to close above that, or even better yet, above 550, then this is definitely going to result in a very nice gamma squeeze. But today, no new analyst ratings, nothing like that. On the actual chart itself, it is breaking above all the absolute key levels that I generally like to look at, as you can kind of see right here. So I think this push higher is well long past due. And not only that though, it did successfully get above that super trend, meaning that you're now going to have algorithmic trading on your side. So you're going to have a very similar push higher potentially as what happened here in September. So it is going to be relatively easy for it to kind of move higher, and I think a lot of people are becoming aware of that, and this is why there's a hell of a lot of call options being purchased. So let me know your general thoughts on NIO. Are you buying the dip? Are you selling? What's your general thoughts? One thing to bring up though, because of the recent price action, it is considered rather overbought. Nothing really wrong with that. Stocks can stay overbought for an extended period of time, but if there is a negative piece of news that does come out, that could cause some volatility, more so on the downside. So let me know your general thoughts, but I think this has been the writing on the wall for a very long time, that NIO is ready to finally move higher. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on that. Where do you think it is going to peak this kind of run? Do you think it's going to move to similar to what happened at that like 750, or do you think it's going to pull maybe like a 6? What's your general thoughts? And then one final thing, pop over to my Patreon where I give buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. Many of them have been absolutely on point and bangers. Definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.